Good morning. It's 11 o'clock. I hereby call this meeting to order and ask everyone to please take your seats. Tim, thank you. We have a number of guests this morning. Kent Farrow, former Transportation Commissioner and Bridge Designer Extraordinaire. Former Secretary of Transportation Mike Patterson, I see him here, back there. Keep Oklahoma Beautiful, Jeanette Nance. There we go, thank you. And Association of Central Oklahoma Governments, Eric Pollard. And of course, the inimitable Bobby Stem with the Association of Oklahoma General Contractors. Welcome all, thank you very much for attending. Stephanie, Secretary, would you please call the roll?
Mr. Coburn?
Coburn here.
Mr. Grimsley?
Grimsley here.
Mr. Shannon? Mr. Freimiller?
Freimiller here.
Mr. Dyson?
Dyson here.
Mr. Alexander? Mr. LaForge?
LaForge here.
Mr. Junk?
Junk here.
Mr. Peterson?
Here.
That's for me.
Thank you. I'd also like to note that Commissioners Shannon and Alexander are participating virtually from outside their district. At least that's the case of Commissioner Shannon. I'm not sure about Bobby, but they will not be voting. So, Secretary Gatz, you're recognized to present.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, Commissioners. If I might, I'd like to recognize Bobby Stem and Kent Farrow to come forward and make a very special presentation. This is what we call the Farrow Award, and certainly I'd invite them to provide a little bit more information and background on what it means. But again, we are super honored to have former Commissioner Kent Farrow in the House this morning, and at this point I'd invite them to come forward and make an award presentation. So.
Mr. Chairman, members of the Commission, thank you very much for having us. Bobby Stem with the Association of Oklahoma General Contractors. We're honored to be part of this award. We're honored with the partnership with the industry and the department. It means a great deal to us. I actually want to hand this over to Kent Farrow, the person that the award is named after, and let him say a few words. But thanks to all of you guys, thanks to my leadership here at the department, the whole transportation family, for allowing us to be part of this today. Mr. Farrow, would you like to say a few words? Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, members of the Commission, it's a true honor to stand before this distinguished body today and present the Farrow Bridge Award to be awarded to the contractor and the department that was adjudged the best constructed project and bridge in the state of Oklahoma that was completed last year. On behalf of my family, my grandfather, my father, and myself, we would like to present this division for the Edmond residency.
Mr. Chairman, and again, want to recognize the team that is responsible for that fine construction project, and the winner was the I-235, I-44 flyover bridge that's just north of here in the interchange. So that's a project we're extremely excited about. You know, that's a Allen construction job, and very much appreciate the quality of the construction, the quality of the design. Justin Hernandez with our bridge division and his team puts a lot of effort into going out and looking at a lot of different bridge infrastructure to make this selection. And again, we're proud of the Edmond residency and what they've accomplished in District 4, so great honor. And in particular, really appreciate Commissioner Fayrow coming in to make that, put a personal touch on this presentation. At this point, Mr. Chairman, if I might, I would invite Jared Swinnison and Eric Pollard to come forward for a presentation on the Clean Cities Stakeholder of the Year Award. So.
Morning, Chairman, members of the Commission. Eric Pollard, Association of Central Oklahoma Governments. Since 1996, ACOG has housed the Clean Cities Coalition, a DOE program focused on the advancement of alternative fuels and electrification. A few years back, we, as part of our annual awards, founded a Stakeholder of the Year Award, and we were pleased this year to present that to Jared Schwinnison here at ODOT. And Jared has a diverse portfolio of things that we work with him on at ACOG, from transit to rail, and recently electrification. So Jared was recognized because really he's taken on the National Electric Vehicle Infrastructure Program full on, even before that with the Volkswagen settlement. He has a willingness to meet with anyone and everyone when it comes to advancing transportation electrification. He shows up, asks questions, answers questions from the public, and we were very proud to give that award, especially recognizing public service, and we're very proud to work with Jared and work with ODOT, and the state is lucky to have him. So congratulations, Jared.
Mr. Chairman, if I might, the next item is a special recognition. And, you know, the Department of Transportation has long maintained a partnership with Keep Oklahoma Beautiful. And that partnership is an opportunity for us to participate in something to the benefit of the state of Oklahoma and our highway rights-of-way. So again, it's been a very natural partnership over time, and a key individual that's been a part of that for many, many years is Jeanette Nance. And Jeanette has recently announced her retirement, and we felt it appropriate to present Jeanette with a commemorative plaque for her partnership and fellowship with transportation, and in recognition of that service. So The plaque says, "In recognition and appreciation of your daily efforts and dedication to the long-standing partnership between Keep Oklahoma Beautiful and the Transportation Cabinet. You've been an integral part of its continued success. Your leadership and commitment will leave an indelible impression not only on our organizations, but on the state of Oklahoma. We salute and commend you for your excellent service." So, Jeanette, if you'd come forward along with Melody Johnson and Monty, and we'll do a photo op and give you an opportunity to address the commission.
Mr. Chairman and members of the commission, thank you so much for this honor. I really couldn't have done this without the department. What we do that really defrays the infrastructure, government worker costs with volunteers, with free supplies provided by our sponsors, it couldn't have been done without you all. Delivering the supplies statewide is what makes that happen. It's the people who are in the communities who get those supplies that do the work. But over the course of my 13 years with Keep Oklahoma Beautiful, first as a board member and then as executive director, I have absolutely loved working with the department and all of the people I've become friends with and in the communities we serve, like Muskogee. But I appreciate the honor. Thank you so much.
Mr. Chairman, one more. With your permission, I would like to recognize Sean Davis for an introduction.
Thank you, Tim. Mr. Chairman, with your permission, I'd like to call Mr. John Logan come forward to the podium. Commissioners, it is with great pleasure that I announce the appointment of Mr. John Logan to the position of District 6 Engineer, succeeding Mr. Ron McDaniel, who retired at the end of September. I know John looks like a young man, but he's actually been with us for quite a while. John started his career with the department in 1996 as an EIT, or as a summer employee at the Guyman Residency, and hired on in 1998 full-time as an EIT. He eventually worked his way up to the assistant resident engineer position at Guyman Residency in 2002. In 2009, John became the area maintenance engineer in District 6 and assumed the role of district maintenance engineer in 2015. And John became the construction engineer. He switched sides, became the construction engineer in 2021, and served in that capacity until his recent appointment. John earned his bachelor's degree in civil engineering from the Oklahoma State University in 1998 and was licensed as a professional engineer in 2002. And commissioners, welcome your new district engineer, Mr. John Logan. Item 176 is approval of the minutes of the Transportation Commission meeting on November 6, 2023. Do I have a motion for approval of item 176?
So moved, Grimsley.
Thank you. And do I have a second?
Second, Dyson.
Any discussion? Okay. If not, please cast your vote. Voting is ended. The motion is passed with one abstention. Thank you. Item 177 is a programming item. Mr. Tegler, you are recognized to present.
Thank you. Good morning, Mr. Chairman, members of the commission, Mr. Secretary. Item 177, our programming item this month, it's District 8 in Tulsa County. Department requests approval to program a project to repair vehicle impact damage to US 64 westbound over 177th West Avenue. The estimated cost for this project is $260,000, and the project can be ready for March 2024 letting. The party responsible for the damage is unknown. Approval is recommended. Try to answer any questions if you have any this morning.
This came up in our subcommittee meeting, and Chief Taylor said, while they don't know the party yet, you'll continue to dog after them and look for videos and this and that, because a $250,000 bridge strike is a nasty one.
Yes, sir.
And very good. All right, thank you. You've heard the presentation. Do I have a motion for approval of item 177?
LaForge, so moved.
Thank you. And a second?
Frymiller, second.
Any discussion? Please cast your vote. Motion passes. Thank you very much. Item 178 is engineering contracts. Mr. Tegler, you're recognized to continue.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Item 178, I have 9 parts this month. 4 are statewide and 5 are project-specific. And of those 5 project-specific, I have 2 projects that are from the Bridge Formula Program that we approved back in April of 2023. One of these items as well, Part A, I'm going to have a little more explanation, so I'll get started. Part A, all districts, statewide, on-demand, airborne LiDAR mapping. The department has selected 8 firms to provide these services. They are Aerial Data Service, CEC Corporation, NV5 Geospatial, Technical Applications and Consulting, BAR Geospatial Solutions, Bearing Tree Land Surveying, Carroll Surveying and Mapping, and WGI Geospatial. The aggregate not to exceed amount for these 8 contracts is $6 million. Contracts 2456A through D were previously approved by the November 2023 commission meeting for an aggregate not to exceed amount of $3 million. So if you recall, Commissioner Grimsley asked a question about the technology and how it will provide for us in the future. We took a long, hard look at our expected utilization of this contract and believe we've underestimated our usage given the increasing need and reliance on LiDAR data as we continue to incorporate new processes and digital delivery innovations into our work processes. It would also allow us the opportunity to benchmark and evaluate all interested in providing these services to better understand each company's capabilities, performance, and deliverables. So at this time, Mr. Chairman, I can yield for questions on Part A right now or wait until we're completely heard on all the items. It's your call.
James?
Yeah, one question on that is how much off-site processing, do they do a lot of the post-processing, or is a lot of that done here in ODOT? I'm just curious about.
We do a
what
lot of
data
the
needs.
actual inspection of the data, so
Okay.
we'll go ahead and check to see how accurate. So that's part of the specs that have changed.
Are we going to need more investments in the future for like that ability to do it internally in ODOT?
Possibly, that's going to be up to
Okay.
the director.
Okay.
But,
Director's nodding his head yes.
so yes. But yes, it's a growing, thing that we're
Okay.
trying to get our hands around and minds around, but yeah, we've got some work to do.
Okay, thank you.
Okay?
Okay,
Good.
please.
Part B. This is all districts, statewide, on-demand, subsurface utility engineering. The department has selected 8 firms to provide these services. They are Bearing Tree Land Surveying, Carroll Surveying and Mapping, CEC Corporation, EST, Guy Engineering Services, Half Associates, KMCE, and Universal Surveying and Mapping. The aggregate not to exceed amount for these 8 contracts is $4 million. Part C, all districts statewide, this is our on-demand ancillary structure safety inspections. The department has selected 2 engineering firms to provide these services, and they are Burgess and Nyepel and Consor Engineers. The aggregate not to exceed for these 2 contracts is $1,500,000. Part D, all districts statewide on-demand aesthetic design. The department has selected half associates to provide these services. Total not to exceed amount for this contract is $250,000. Part E in District 3 in Lincoln County, the department has selected CEC Corporation to provide preliminary engineering and construction plans for city bridges in Chandler. Proposed project improvements are replacing the bridge on the existing alignment. This is one of the Bridge Formula Program projects that I spoke of earlier. Part F in District 5, Beckham County. Let me back up, that's $150,159. Part F in District 5, Beckham County, the department has selected CP&Y, also doing business as STV Infrastructure, to prepare construction plans for the I-40. This is a south frontage road over Timber Creek overflow. Proposed project improvements are replacing the bridge on existing alignment. Total not to exceed amount is $583,150. Part G, District 5 in Custer County. Department has selected Consor Engineers to prepare construction plans for I-40. This is the south frontage road over Bear Creek. Proposed project improvements are replace bridge on the existing alignment. Total not to exceed amount is $477,150. Part H in District 7, Caddo County. Department has selected Tetra Tech to prepare construction plans for I-40. This is the south frontage road over unnamed creek. Proposed project improvements are replace bridge on the offset alignment. Not to exceed amount is $396,600. Part I in District 8, Pawnee County. Department has selected Burgess and Nyepel to provide preliminary engineering and prepare construction plans for city bridges in Pawnee. There are 3 of them on this contract. One of them is Unnamed Creek on Black Bear Avenue. The other is Pawnee Creek on Denver Street, and the other is Unnamed Creek on Kansas Street. Proposed project improvements are replace bridges on the existing alignment. Not to exceed amount is $338,107. And I would conclude there. Approval is recommended. If you have any questions, I'll try to answer them.
Thank you. Commissioners, you've heard the presentation. Do I have a motion for approval of item 178?
Motion, Dyson.
Thank you. And a second?
LaForge, second.
Thank you. Any discussion? Please vote. Motion passes. Thank you very much. Item 179 is engineering contract supplements. Mr. Taylor, you recognized to continue.
Okay, thank you. I have 6 parts. Part A is our District 1, Cherokee County. Department previously authorized Hudson Prince Engineering and Inspection to prepare construction plans for US 62. Proposed project improvements are intersection modification and add sidewalk. Total not to exceed amount is $5,728. Part B in District 1 in Muskogee County, the department previously authorized Holloway, Updike, and Bellin to perform preliminary engineering and construction plans for US 69. Proposed project improvements are adding capacity to the roadway, reconstruct and rehabilitate the existing facility, and replace bridge on an existing alignment. Total not to exceed amount is $164,672. Part C in District 2, McCurtain County, department previously authorized H.W. Lochner perform preliminary engineering and construction plans for State Highway 3. Proposed project improvements are adding shoulders to a 2-lane road and intersection modification. Total not to exceed amount is $21,700. Part D in District 5, Custer County. Department previously authorized Atkins North America to perform preliminary engineering and prepare construction plans for State Highway 33. Proposed project improvements are reconstruct and rehabilitate the existing facility. Total not to exceed amount is $58,600. Part E in District 8 in Nowata County. Department previously authorized C.H. Guernsey and Company prepare construction plans for US 169. Proposed project improvements are adding shoulders to a 2-lane road. Total not to exceed amount is $177,700. Part F in District 8 as well. This is Tulsa County. Department previously authorized Benham Design to prepare construction plans for I-44 at the US 75 interchange. This is work packages 2 and 5. Proposed project improvements are adding capacity to the roadway, adding sidewalks, geometric and access improvements, and intersection modification. Total not to exceed amount is $318,011. And finally, Part G, District 8 in Tulsa County as well. Department previously authorized Poe and Associates to prepare construction plans for the I-44 at the US 75 interchange. This is work package number 3. Proposed project improvements are adding capacity to the roadway, adding traffic control devices and sidewalks, geometric improvements, and replacing bridge on an offset alignment. Total not to exceed amount is $332,587. Approval is recommended. Answer any questions if you have any this morning.
Thank you. You've heard the presentation. Do I have a motion for approval of item 179?
LaForge move for approval.
Thank you. And a second?
Frymiller, second.
Thank you. Any discussion? If not, please cast your vote. Motion passes. Thank you very much, Mr. Tigler. Item 180 is change orders with a cumulative total of $75,000 or less. This is for information only. Mr. McIntosh, you are recognized to present.
Thank you. Mr. Chairman, members of the commission, Mr. Secretary. As I said, I'm Derek McIntosh. I'm the Assistant State Construction Engineer, filling in for John Leonard today. I would like to present item number 180, parts A through U. These are the change orders on projects which have a cumulative total of change orders of $75,000 or less. This item is presented for your information only, and no action is necessary, but I'd be glad to answer any questions if you have them.
And if there are no questions, you're recognized to present item 181, change orders with a cumulative total greater than $75,000.
Okay. So on that, I have parts A through T, and these are change orders, as he said, with a value greater than $75,000. Your approval is recommended, and I'd be glad to answer any questions.
And you've heard the presentation. Bless you. Do I have a motion for approval of item 181?
So moved, Grimsley.
Thank you. And a second?
Second, John.
Thank you, Commissioner Junk. Any discussion? Please cast your vote. And the motion passes. Thank you very much. If there are no questions, we will move on to item 182, presented by Local Government Division. Mr. Mitchell, you're recognized to present.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman, members of the commission. I'm presenting item 182, off-system bridge funding for the all districts statewide to approve 428 bridges to participate in the off-system scour mitigation bridge program. Recognizing the importance of decreasing the number of structurally deficient bridges and improving the safety on county roads and city streets, the department implemented the scour mitigation program to address SD bridges located on the off-system. Scour is caused by stream channel instability resulting in river erosion around bridge structures. Debris can also have a substantial impact on bridge scour by reducing the size of the waterway under a bridge, causing contraction scour in the channel. Of the 1,700 off-system bridges that are SD, 600 of the SD bridges had a form of scour as one of the bridge deficiencies. After completing field assessments at each one of these bridge locations and using engineering analysis, it was determined that 428 of these SD bridges could be repaired with heavy maintenance that counties and cities could not otherwise perform on their own and remove them from the SD category. The scour mitigation program is a part of the Bridge Formula program using a portion of the $28 million per year that is allocated for addressing off-system bridge needs. The estimated cost to repair the 428 off-system bridges is $13,723,881.50. Approval is recommended.
Thank you. You've heard the presentation. Do I have a motion for approval of item 182?
Motion, Dyson.
Thank you. And a second?
Second, Kilburn.
Thank you. Any discussion? Not. Commissioners, please cast your vote. Motion passes. Thank you very much. Item 183 is proposed bid openings. Ms. Bryant, you are recognized to present.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman and members of commission. Item 183, proposed bid openings consist of the final January 2024, tentative February 2024, and tentative March 2024 bid openings. The department recommends approval.
Thank you. You've heard the presentation. Do I have a motion for approval of item 183?
Motion approved.
Thank you.
Second, LaForge.
Thank you. Any discussion?
I think more of a comment, we are looking at the CR, the federal budget, so that provides a little bit of long-term uncertainty on that, so.
Yep, I think the Secretary is going to address that in his concluding remarks. Thank you. Let's see. No discussion. Please cast your vote. Motion passes. Thank you very much. Item 184 is awards. Mr. Dels, you are recognized to present.
Good morning, Commissioners. Item 184 are our recommendations for award from the November bid openings. They'll be in two parts. Part A, it is recommended that the following items from the November 9th bid opening, referred to by call order, be awarded. It's call orders 832, 836, 845, 876, 877, and 880. It is recommended that the following item from the November 9th bid opening, referred to by call order, be rejected. That's call order 826. Part B, 826, sir. Part B, it is recommended that the following items from the November 16th bid opening, referred to by call order, be awarded. Its call orders 901, 904, 908, 921, 949, 950, 956, 960, 974, 990, 995, and 997. It is recommended that the following items from the November 16th bid opening, referred to by call order, be rejected. Its call orders 902, 903, 906, 907, 920, and 924. This concludes our recommendations for awards, and approval is requested.
Thank you. Commissioners, you've heard the presentation. Do I have a motion for approval of item 184?
So moved, Grimsley.
Thank you. And a second?
Second, Coburn.
Thank you. Any discussion?
Yes, I'd just like to commend Mr. Dels. He consistently gives us information early, and it's very much appreciated, so I just wanted to recognize him for that.
Good work. Good work. All right. Please cast your vote. Motion passes. Thank you, Mr. Dels. Item 185 is the Director's Report. Secretary Gatz, you're recognized to present.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, Commissioners. Just as Commissioner Grimsley pointed out, just on the federal funding front, we are operating now under a continuing resolution that extends through January 19th. And again, that helps us have a little bit of certainty so we can proceed with the January letting. Obviously, we'll continue to monitor what's going on in Washington, D.C. for across the month of December and into January. And we'll see what direction the Congress goes in. I'm optimistic that they'll find a way forward, and we'll have a full appropriations bill at some point, hopefully in the not-too-distant future. But we will continue to be very careful and mindful of how we dedicate federal funding until that time. So, like I said, a little bit of an update. I very much appreciate your support for the Bridge Scour program. You know, that is one of the focus areas that has come to light when we look at our off-system bridge infrastructure. You know, that the county commissioners are ultimately jurisdictionally responsible for, but we work with our transportation partners in the counties and the municipalities across the state every day, and recognizing that through some, as Matt described, heavy maintenance activities, we can get some of these bridges off of our structural deficient list. So again, partnering with the counties, identifying where those treatments are most appropriate, and then following through with those, because it can be hugely challenging for the county commissioners to gather up the resources needed to go take care of an issue like this. So again, we're going to once again work together, and go a little bit above and beyond as far as what's required of us. But we do that in fellowship and partnership with everybody that's out trying to take care of some segment of the transportation system. So again, very much appreciate your support of that initiative. Want to give you a little bit of an update on our Fair Miles Oklahoma pilot program. As it closes out this month, in the month of December, just to refresh a little bit, the legislature challenged the department to move forward with a pilot program and then generate a report on what the results were. And, you know, we have started exploring that option of a pay-per-mile approach, you know, really to look to the future as our motor fuel taxes potentially are in jeopardy, you know, as we go forward with primarily fuel efficiency standards. We're beginning to see some of those revenues flatten, and certainly just this year the gasoline tax collections have declined a little bit. Diesel fuel was up a little bit, but we believe that that's a pattern that's not going to go away. It's going to continue for the foreseeable future. That's a primary revenue input into infrastructure investment. So it's something we need to be attentive to. Certainly the legislature was worried about it. So we're going to take a hard look at this. We've had more than 400 Oklahomans participate in this pilot since early spring, or since late spring, early summer. And they've traveled more than 1 million miles in participation in the pilot. So that'll help us, you know, kind of understand what the opportunities are. And we engaged everything from the honor system, where you report how many miles you drove based on your odometer reading, to some of the more technologically sophisticated means, like using some of the vehicle telematics that are out there, and also a mobile app. You know, there are some concerns, obviously, with a change to this type of a revenue collection method, and cost of collection being one of them. So I think this is a good step in the right direction as far as generating a report that's got some solid data and some solid metrics to consider. But I think this will be something that will be helpful to the legislature as they start to look to the future. But I think it's still, I think the thing we recognize now, probably more than ever, is as far as the citizenry being ready for something like this, and then us having all of the mechanisms in place to be able to accurately assess and collect, there's some challenges out there right now that we'll have to overcome. And I think that can happen over time, but we're not quite ready yet. But again, present this information back to the legislature. They have shown really a tremendous willingness to take a hard look at things like EVs, electric vehicle infrastructure, and electric vehicle impact to transportation revenues. Oklahoma still has some, and has been a policy leader since the beginning on the electric vehicle front. So again, I think this is going to be a useful tool for the legislature to really kind of look into the future a little bit. But again, I think we're going to have some challenges ahead of us as we consider new mechanisms like this for the future. Pause there, Mr. Chairman, and answer any questions that any of the commissioners might have related.
Yeah, I'd just like to say, being on the audit subcommittee has really been enlightening on how complex the motor fuel tax problem is. And it's no single factor. It's so many different factors that are resulting in that drop. So,
yeah.
And then we don't really have a national sustainability plan. We have a very large network in the United States, and we don't really have like a national plan of how we maintain and fill that need.
Yeah, and that problem, Commissioner, is exponentially exacerbated at the federal level, where again we rely on motor fuel tax going into the Highway Trust Fund, but the Highway Trust Fund is by no means supporting the capital investment outlays that are happening at the federal level. And that in itself bodes an uncertain future for investment in transportation infrastructure, and that will have to be addressed. So, you know, again, that's something we consider every day. But again, we've got a good pilot. We'll have a good report back to the legislature, and To Commissioner Grimsley's point, this is not something that is electric vehicle related. That the decline in motor fuel tax that we're beginning to see, or the flattening, is simply due to fuel efficiencies, and the standards are increasing all the time. So we need to be cognizant of that as we go forward, because it's not an EV versus internal combustion engine. That's not the issue. The issue is motor fuel tax is not what it used to be. Vehicle miles traveled are actually increasing while these revenues are beginning to decline. So again, we'll provide a good report. I think it'll give the legislature good insight in some of their policy making for the future. Touch on a couple of projects that we're excited about going forward. Appreciate your consideration this morning of a project on State Highway 152 in Canadian County. That is a $40 million project that will put shoulders on a narrow 2-lane highway that's long overdue to have shoulders put on it. That connects Union City with the city of Mustang, and that's going to provide a new surface, look at the drainage patterns, and improve sight distance on about 10 miles. And again, that project in particular is exciting for a couple of reasons. It is, once again, a poster child for putting shoulders on a rural 2-lane highway that desperately needs it, just from a traffic volume perspective, but also from the perspective it's a wide load route, so it carries some wide loads that can be challenging for the rest of the traveling public to navigate around. So we're really excited to get this project going. Thanks to Division 4 for putting it together and moving it ahead. Also want to recognize State Highway 82 in Cherokee County in the community of Tahlequah. We continue our work there to resurface and partially realign a portion of State Highway 82 on the northeast side of Tahlequah. That's a $57 million project, and it's going to add a couple of roundabouts on State Highway 82 to increase safety and traffic efficiency in the area. And again, recently completed the roundabout that's on your screen here, and that was at State Highway 82 and US 62. And this one, I won't tell you that it was thought to be a great idea going in by the residents and the citizenry of the area, but I think it's been very, very well received since the time that it's been constructed, and we're seeing pretty good operational efficiency in it. So very pleased with it. We're going to introduce a couple of more, and I appreciate District 1 and our design folks in being willing to entertain a pretty innovative solution like this. Roundabouts have been around for a long time, but we haven't been willing to use them effectively. And I think these are locations that really can benefit, and certainly won't be the last that we construct. So again, thanks to the group for working on that. We'll see that construction start in late spring of 2024. And lastly, talk just a little bit about our safety campaigns and the year-end safety review. As we wrap up the year, we want to highlight the top road safety tips of the year as part of our Make It Home Safe, Make Oklahoma Safe campaign. The 3 top tips for 2023 for motorists are to ensure they wear seatbelts. It's not the first time you've heard that from me. Maintain a controlled speed. That means observe the black and white posted speed limit. And not only that, but recognize that that black and white sign is a safe speed on a clear, bright day. And you've got to make adjustments for the road conditions that you encounter. And that could be everything from snow and ice, that this is December, despite the fact we're going to be in the 60s this week as far as temperatures go. Winter will come, and we've got to make adjustments in those speeds really for the conditions that we're presented with. And that's our responsibility as drivers, to make those adjustments. And then we need to put away our distractions. We have so many in the vehicle with us anymore, and that can be anything from the cell phone to some of the technologies that are now embedded in your dashboard. So we've got to be very careful and mindful that we keep our eyes on the road in front of us. So despite our our discussions about seatbelt use, we continue to fail to wear them. Only nearly 1 in 5 Americans still fail to wear seatbelts regularly while driving or riding in a vehicle. And we urge drivers to join us as safety partners by consistently buckling up whenever they get in a vehicle. So whether you're the driver or the passenger, it's incumbent to take that first safety step because, again, nobody ever leaves home intending to have an accident, but they happen every day. And in a vehicle crash, you are far more at risk if you're not wearing that safety restraint. So, Mr. Chairman, with that, I appreciate the commission's attention this morning, as always, and I would stand for any questions you might have of me.
Any questions for the Secretary? No? Thank you very much, Secretary Gadsden.
Thank you, Commissioner.
All right, if commissioners have no other comments, I'd hear a motion for item 185, which is adjournment.
Motion, Dyson.
Thank you. And a second?
Second, Coburn.
Second, Coburn, and please cast your vote. Motion passes. We are adjourned.